Hello and welcome. We're getting started this morning. This is Monday. It's VPM day, as usual, Viral Political Machine. However, we're going to give you guys a real surprise, a treat today, in how to earn money or earn a living without a job. And so we're waiting for the rest of the network to come on and join us, and they are. Welcome, everyone. Thank you very much. Today, we're talking about how to make money without a job, or at least we're going to look into different ways of doing that. So, not to say that this is definitively what's going to work for you. And the reason I make that distinction is because not everything works for everyone. A lot of people they mistake things and options as being a solution for all, and it's never that way. A lot of things, especially in terms of earning income, making money on your own, really depends on your person. More, it's even when you're going to look for a job and whatnot. You show your resume. You have to, show yourself in the best way possible. Um, but creating income for yourself is even more work than that. That's why people, basically just go find a job, because basically it's harder to go out and make your own money. Okay, so that's really what it is. But then, the problem comes that if you can't find a job, which shouldn't be too hard in today's economy. Hi, you guys. Yeah, I'm sorry. Is the music still on? One moment. Let me check that. Music may stay on for a little while, but it should be off by now. Um, so once and that music was on from the other stream. That's why they're all synced. So sorry about that. Sometimes things like that happen. And we have the unexpected call. One moment. I'm broadcasting there. I'll call you right back. Yeah, sorry about that. I meant to disconnect, and I just pressed the button and started broadcasting. In any case, it's a little harder for you to set yourself up for making income directly, because you have to do more than just preparing a resume and show up for an interview. So basically, what we're going to talk about today is getting that extra stuff. Because, frankly, some of you, and any time, things may be great right now for you in finding work, but at other times, it's always going to happen. We're always going to have bad times. Jobs will become less and less available, and what do you do? Because at a certain point, the work and the effort to find a job will eventually equal the work and effort and time, obviously, in building your own income. So you might as well get started. Even if you have a job right now, get started in preparing income streams so that you can, um, if a job lets you go, you can't find work, you already started running on that other track of creating income for yourself, so that you don't suffer as much. Number one. Number two, you can then speed it up, put more time into those other income creating areas, and then compensate and even surpass. Because the good thing about making your own money is that you can give yourself a raise, you control how much money you make, and you can actually make more money than if you were working for a job, and for a boss. So working a job is easier, and getting a job is easier, but your income is limited. right? And you have to compete with others, and you have to be there a certain amount of time, years, and whatnot. But when you're making your own money, you once you learn how to make this amount of money here, then all you have to do is an issue of multiplication, duplication, and multiplication, and you know what to do to grow the money. You put more effort, or you hire more help, and you extend your area, you get more clients, whatever that is, more advertising, whatever it is. But you control how much money you make, by knowing how to make this much money. So this is the important thing. You need to learn how to make money. I think everyone needs to learn how money is made, how to make money, because we're taught from early on just to get a job. And earlier than that, we receive money like for free, right? You get a Christmas gift. I think maybe our first money, maybe in the store, the parents are buying stuff, and then, oh, can I get that lollipop or that candy or that toy or whatever? And then maybe, probably depending the parent, they will give us the dollar or the nickel or whatever it is, whatever, and then say, go ahead, you can pay for that. And so we start learning, that we receive money. It's not that you earned it. It's not that you worked for it or that you created this source of income. We are born and we're nurtured in a type of uh, conditioning that cripples us in terms of creating our own income. It sets us off into depending on others for money. And I think that attaches itself to many people throughout life, until or unless they are instructed through parents. The right type of parent will instruct a child on how to earn a living by themselves on their own. But again, not everyone has the understanding or the training for that. So it's all depending if they learn it. Maybe they, like the rich man, poor man guy, rich dad, poor dad author. You have an uncle or a friend of your father's, the poor dad, but at least that friend was the rich dad, and he was able to give you some mentoring and some instruction, and teach you some of those sayings that you say, wow, that's right. The way my dad is doing is not the right way, but this guy has it together. So basically, this is what we are going to help you with today. Now, the first thing, what I'm going to show you, the certain things that technology has given us. Now, in the old days, we used to have land. Land was the way. In matter of fact, land is still the way. By the way, land is still the way. Real estate. Don't forget that. There's nothing changing. The earth is still spinning. Land is still what it is, and the land will always have its value and will always grow. So you need to always understand that nothing that I'm going to tell you today obfuscates the reality that real estate is your number one wealth creator, okay, in all time and in all your life. So understand that. Now, what I'm going to show you, though, what we're going to address, because I do real estate, I have my own seminars. You need to go to classiforium.com and look at the events section to see the tour that I'm having in 2020, 21, and 22, to see if I'm in your city. I'm only doing the top 100 in the United States for the real estate seminar. That's an exclusive seminar where I'm teaching my techniques, which are exclusive. No one else has it. No one else is doing what we're doing, okay? And they can't. So, and the reason for that you'll see in the seminar, they can't do what I'm going to do and what I'm going to be teaching you how to do. and it's an exclusive program, and it's the most profitable one of any. No matter how many, because some people say, I've been in real estate investing for 20 years. What are you going to teach me? Well, I'm going to teach you what you are not doing, because you're doing what everyone else is doing, right? See, I'm going to teach you what you're not doing. So that's what I'm going to teach you. Okay, so again, those seminars, you'll see them at classiforium.com, and you can order your tickets there. I steal, because the tickets are usually $10,000. You can get them right now at $9.95, but not too much time is left. So they're going to start going up. Some dates are going to get changed when I get in there and do some reconfiguration. So what we're suggesting you do, and with the date change, we're going to have an increase in the pricing. But if you get in there now, get in on that low price. It's the lowest it's ever going to be. And the other thing is that it's the only time I'm giving it. I'm running out of time. It's the only time I'm going to give this. I'm going to give you the next 3 years of my life to teach key people in each of the top 100 cities, no more than that. And it's exclusive and limited. So again, this is a one-time deal. You either get it or too bad. You just read about us and look at the guys who did it and are wealthy, and they'll become the new Trumps of the next generation, and you will have stories to tell your kids. Okay, so but what we're going to talk about today is making money before you have even enough to do real estate. And if you're working already, you really should be diversifying your income streams, for the reason that work is not guaranteed, your job is not guaranteed, and also there's a thing called retirement. And retirement, I mean, my father, he just passed a month ago, and even in his past, before he passed, he was retired. He had a pretty good retirement package, took care of himself and my mother, from 32BJ, by the way, in New York City. So he had a very good pension back when the pensions were good. Okay, those unions really did their duty to make sure the members had a good retirement. And yeah, my father had a good retirement. However, what is a good retirement? You see, so my father paid his bills. His bills were paid. However, the medication, the things that you don't know when you're young and you're working, and yeah, I got a retirement, we got a pension plan, whatever the union, this and that. You're not thinking about getting sick. And you don't realize, unless you have an older, sicker person around you, where you can see where money is needed and how much of it is needed for certain things. You're not realizing that your pension, the pension that you feel so good about, is really, may indeed not be enough for you to live the retirement that you are dreaming of, that you're envisioning. You may luck out like my father did, where at least his pension paid off his sustenance, his rent, right, and his medication, but then not much more than that. So everything was paid. My father didn't have any, and he also was able to pay for a life insurance policy as well, separate from whatever the job had. It's another warning you guys need to know about. Many workers, your union tells you, and you have in fact a life insurance policy. Okay, so then you say, oh, so if I die, my family gets some money, and my children, so they're okay, they're taken care of. That's only while you're working. So you have to pay close attention. What is it that you have? So while you're working, yeah, you may have life insurance. The thing is that some of us are lucky enough not to get hurt and not to die on the job. and then you retire. And guess what happens when you retire? That life insurance policy is no longer in effect for you. So actually, you do not have a life insurance policy upon retirement. So, but my father did the right thing, eventually, and he got a life insurance policy to cover him in case he passed away, which he eventually did. But that I'm going to say for another teaching in financial planning and whatnot. I'm not giving financial advice, of course. I'm just talking about what happened to my dad and the lessons that I see in what the things that went on. So, and I know that this is affecting other people because just like my dad, other people are rest assured that their pension and their union's taking care of everything. And of course, they are to those things that they said they would. But you need to, again, the devil's in the details. You need to pay attention to the detail and notice that if you survive work, you will not have, in like in this case that we're talking about, any life insurance, and your family, if something happens to your family, will not have anything to even to bury you with, because they didn't have a burial fund. So the union did not have money set aside to bury their member once they're retired. Everything was there when you were working. When you're working, they'll carry your casket and lay it and put some upholstery in the ground and then lay your coffin softly. But once you retire, you're out by yourself, except for the pension. So again, and those are the little details that, with a little bit of foresight, a little bit of also financial, what they call financial planning, is putting aside to take care of these little fall through gaps. These are gaps in coverage that you need to worry yourself about and pay attention to. And it only costs you a few dollars when you're young. This is the thing that as you age, options become more expensive. Not that they disappear. Some do. Some options disappear, but mostly they become more expensive. But if you had planned before, realized, wait a minute, if I'm planning to live forever, and when I retire, I will not have life insurance. My family will be unprotected, then and uncared for, because it's not just protecting them, which is fine, making sure the funeral costs are covered, but it's also because always dad is a help, right? Mom is a help to the family whenever something goes on, and like there's no other option. It's mom and dad usually extend their hand. "Hey, here, let me take care of this, let me help you out here, that's all right." So it's always the father always wants to be the father, the mother's always the mother, and we need to do that also financially for our children. Even if, when we pass away, we need to continue being ma and pa, and that the memory that child has, or your family, how many children you have, is that ma and pa always provided, and even in death they always provide. My father left something, my mother left something to help, to be there for me and the family now that I'm raising, to be able to continue and deal with the challenges of day-to-day life and unforeseen things that always occur. So this is a good thing, but you need to plan this when you're young, because when you're young, not only are you have strength and vigor to work, and even to add more to your options of work, which what we're going to talk about today, but you're also able to buy an insurance policy that will endure after retirement, and provide enough so that not only the future of burial costs are realized or covered, but also what you want to leave your children. Now, I want to, or your wife and children, or your surviving spouse and family members. I have to fix the chat. I've been on Firefox for some reason. Firefox is not staying connected on the chat. I'm getting errors. So I'm going to open up the chat in a different browser. So one moment. I find that the different browser works well, like Chrome. You hear it all the time. Chrome works. So it's like Chrome does what it's supposed to do, and we have issues with the other uh, browsers here. So I have switched off the first chat room, and now we are using another browser for chat, so you can chat. If anyone has any questions for me, I will be happy to answer. Again, as a disclaimer, I'm not giving financial advice. I'm only talking about financial experiences that I have observed in others and in my person, and that's all that I'm sharing with you today. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is this little machine. This is a money making machine right here. Okay. It's not an iPhone. I'm not making a distinction. It could be an iPhone. It's any phone. Any a modern phone with a browser capability, app, Android or iOS or whatever operating system, with a app store that you can use to search for apps and download them to your phone. This is marvelously your handheld moneymaker. Right here, this is a cash register. Okay, you have a store, you have a phone. If you have a phone, you have a business. Okay, you're in business. Okay, this is business. All right. So, see, no one has an excuse not being able to make some money. No one. If you have a phone, you can start making money today. Okay. So the problem is, and imagine if you had a computer. Imagine if you could ever get yourself a computer. Do you know what you could do on the computer? Okay, so all you need is the phone to make money. You can make a lot of money just with this. But if you have a computer, you're one of those lucky ones with a whole computer. You can make a whole lot of money. Okay, so I'm making it clear that money can be made from as simple as this phone. And then if you have a computer, you really have no excuse. I mean, you have no excuse for not making money, even if you have a 9 to 5. You got a computer, you can make money. You got a phone, you can make money. And if you got a computer, you can make even more money easier and faster. All right. So, but let's start with the phone. Here, you go to the App Store, and there's a few things that you can do. Again, everything depends on who you are, what you are as a person, and even talents that you have, skills that you have. So, obviously, you have to do a personal skill inventory. What can you do? And then go to your store, your app store, and you do a search. You see, like make money, earn income, stuff like that, and you're going to get a whole bunch of apps that uh, claim, because we got to talk straight, transparent, claim that you can make money. Most of them are claims, but a few of them are actual opportunities for you to exchange your talent, your time, your thinking, and turn that into cash. Okay, so I'm going to show you after I did my own little search. It wasn't an extensive search. One of these days I'll do more of an extensive search, but it was a search I did when I went traveling, when I went to bury my father, and I was a few weeks there with my mother, trying to help her, close things out and fix things up, clear things out. So on the downtime, which was substantial downtime, and since I didn't have my computer, and no, I didn't have my laptop is in need of repairs, is waiting for me to find the right technician to handle it, because it's a $6,000 computer, and I need the repair job to be done, precisely by someone who really knows what they're doing. So until I find that person, I have it mothballed. But so I was just with this, and frankly, I have two phones. And by the way, it just reminded me to get the transcriber up. Sometimes I forget to do that. I use the other phone to transcribe whatever I'm speaking, and video to transcribe it into text, so that way I can make more money. Oh my goodness. Did I give you an idea? So yeah, that's one of them, since I just was right there. You can make videos, and even you can do that on this. There's apps where you can broadcast yourself speaking. I mean, I used to use, I never did it with this phone. This is a newer phone in my supply of phones here. I use the old phone here, the older phone. I used to do broadcasting to Periscope at first, solely on that phone, and I used that particularly when the laptop went kaput. My only way of broadcasting was to broadcast to Periscope initially through the Periscope app. And Periscope, those who are not on Periscope right now, watching me on other channels or platforms, Periscope is Twitter and their video platform, where you can go and do videos like I'm doing right now, and it shows up on your Twitter as a tweet that you're broadcasting now through Periscope, and also shows up, the video shows up there as a tweet. So it's a way to get, and then there's people who are not on Twitter, but they're on Periscope, and they've discovered you on Periscope. So you're discoverable in two platforms, which I think, let me think about this. I think it's the only platform. Wait a minute. It's the only platform where you can do that. Not that you don't appear in other platforms in apps too. That's not, but people are not using the other platforms separately in that sense. In other words, Twitter is like the only one of the social platforms up to now. And I could be mistaken because I don't know all of them, but I'm pretty sure Twitter is the only one that there are people who only tweet. There are people who only know Twitter on their computers or as an app on their phone, which is fine, but as just as tweeting. And they see that people post videos, but they're not really into the video. They just reading, they're clicking on links, etc., etc. So Twitter lives as Twitter without Periscope. And then Periscope is Periscope without Twitter, except that they are one in the same. They send your Periscopes show up on Twitter, and but your tweets don't show up on Periscope. See, so it's just like a separate platform, yet they are intermingled, which what happens is that you can build a community, an audience on Periscope that is not necessarily connected to your Twitter community. So, in instance, you have two communities buildable through the Periscope app and with your Twitter account. So, you can actually be building two distinct communities to one degree or another. There's always overlap, there's always going to be that. But mostly, I've discovered, let's put it this way, I've discovered people on Periscope more than on Twitter. In my personal use, I don't use Twitter to discover people. And then there are those who are on Twitter or on Periscope that use Twitter exclusively to find people, right? And they do their Periscope. But in my experience, I've seen more people and got to meet and interact with people more using Periscope than Twitter. Okay, but that's my personal way of using things. I'm sure it's different for most others because most others had used Twitter before Periscope became a thing, and you're used to dealing with in Twitter and dealing with people on Twitter, et cetera, et cetera. But I think that the Periscope is like I believe it's the only platform that has that peculiar situation, a good one, a nice one. Which when we're talking about making money, you should appreciate the power of Twitter and Periscope together in terms of finding people and having people find you, becoming discoverable. So this is very important. There's people, I don't market myself too much on Periscope in terms of, hey, look at my Periscope, this and that. But people find me on Periscope. And again, it's the issue of that Twitter combo. Because every time I go on, like today, this morning when I started broadcasting, um, everyone got a notification on Twitter. So, it's like another notification. And there's people who day to day just sit on Twitter searching for certain tags, hashtags, and if they're searching for the hashtag of whatever it is you're talking about, you're going to show up and they're going to click through and watch your content. So this is it's a valuable thing to know that your phone and the Periscope app can connect you to your market and make your business or your skills marketable and reachable by many, many people that otherwise you would not have access to. So I think that's a really good point there, and it's a good thing that we mentioned that. The other good thing about using the phone, it's don't throw away your old phone. Why are you throwing away your old phone? I have this phone here is another Android. I have two. This one, which I use when I travel, when I leave the house. This is the only way to contact me. And I use it really just for my own emergency. If I get stuck or something, you need a phone. So this is what I use. I don't use the phone otherwise, except for the things I'm going to show you today. And then the phone I had before, I have it right in front of me on the desk always. I use that as a third monitor because I have two, one on this side and one on this side for the computer that's standing in the middle, and then obviously the camera, which I have two of them, are facing me here. But I have this other phone, a little bit larger than this. It's also another reason I keep it for that reason. And it's like having a third monitor, albeit small, that I can see and monitor other periscopes throughout the day. You get the notification. So and so is broadcasting on Periscope or whatever. You see the topic, and I can quickly just go and tap and get more information or engage those the people I'm following instantly throughout the day while I'm doing other work. It doesn't tie up my computer real estate, if you will. when I'm doing so much work on it, to then also be able to monitor someone on Periscope or even YouTube for that matter of fact. Since I'm on Wi-Fi, I don't have to worry about any cell phone issues or anything like that, or even bandwidth. It's a good thing about being in the USA, right, boys? Woo! Okay, listen. All right, so what I'm doing right now, what's happening right now, like I just told you about, was that it's transcribing. What's good about transcribing? Well, every Sunday, to give you an example, every Sunday I'm a minister. So every Saturday, actually, with the Sabbath, and every Sunday with Sunday school, because our ministry addresses both foci, encompasses and comprehends the purpose of the Shabbat teaching and the obviously the Resurrection Sunday tradition of the church, of the Christian church, and so we have a particular ministry of teaching, obviously, where we're making clarifying the emphasis that God places on what the Shabbat is, as opposed to what's being taught. A lot of people being taught the wrong thing about Shabbat, and so again, our ministry focuses on teaching the right thing about Shabbat, and I give those proofs and evidence within that Saturday instruction. And then also Sunday, we have our regular Bible series that we do different things and whatnot. But while I'm doing those programs, I'm talking for 2 hours. Oh, gee. And but while I'm talking, realize what's happening here. Realize it, right? This other phone is typing away right here in front of my face. It's typing away the words that I'm saying. Okay, it's not perfect. It's not 100% perfect, but it's pretty good. Right now, all those words that I just told you, exactly as I said it. So it's pretty good. But it does make some mistakes because my voice isn't always clear, and so, but it's still very. I mean, the amount of hours it's saving me in having to listen to the video and type everything out. So I understand that, and the price it would cost to have someone else do it. So it is doing it there, and later on, after I finish this program, for example, I will send it to myself in email, and in my email account, I practically have a few books there, sitting and waiting for me to edit it and to publish it. So see, so the time that I'm spending here, 'cause a lot of people say, "Why is this guy talking to himself?" I'm not talking to myself. I'm actually literally talking to the world now and later, because it's recording in terms of the video, and also it's being will be printed in ebooks and in other physical books, and or even put on the web and a blog as articles and other types of content. And even right now, even with the speaking, it's also recording, and I can just send it to a through one of my audio recording softwares that will extract instantly the audio track from any video. So the audio is podcasting, right? It's a podcast, it's an audio book, right? It's and then the video itself, it's a video, and then the transcription here of physical books and physical other types of physical content and whatnot. A lot of things that can be done. And each one of those, even though I was talking about a religious teaching and whatnot, but hey, they sell religious books in the bookstore, right? They all can be, sources of income. In my situation, those teachings are teachings that I will use in ministry and other areas of the ministry. But there are also things that I will use to form books and teaching materials and create. Oh, another thing, create courses using the same thing. That same teaching from Sunday is a part of a course, and it's already typed out. It's already there. All I have to do is lay it out, put it a little through an outline, blah blah blah, and we have a course. Now, I can have, since I speak for 2 hours at a time, especially the Sunday and Saturday classes, in a month, I already figured everything out. Every month, I have another book. Literally, I can create another book every month, another title if the topic was different. And that's the amount of content that can be produced, just by me speaking. Now again, my speaking doesn't create a book, because you still have to sit down and do it. And let me tell you, I have many things waiting, because simply also getting to sit down and do and produce the final product is, at least for me, since I had an accident 2 years ago, is a quite a an ordeal. Okay, so that's a challenge for me right now. But if you are not in the situation that I am in, for you guys, it should be easy. It was easy for me before the accident, just to, what I do, poop out a book every month, because it's basically just talking, and then right after the talk, just get right to it and do that. With things that, because of the accident, are not easy at all for me to do. But in any case, these are things that you can do very easily. Okay, so that's just one of the things. Now, okay, so since I have the skill set of talking and amplifying topics, because I can go do some research and I can amplify on a topic what my research has been and what I find. Basically, it's what the books are, right? When they're teaching books, when they're research books. I'm not writing fiction. You know that I'm not a fiction writer. Okay, so I may try it one day, but I'm trying to load up on all the Trump BS so that I can learn to write fiction, actually. So it'll be a guide for me later on when I write my fiction book. I just try to make a modification of all the Trump BS. So that'll probably be something I do. Matter of fact, I have one of my ideas is to take Les Miserables and transpose it into our present day political environment. And voila, my first work of fiction. Okay, so that's one of my things, because I can't, I don't. First of all, it solves the two issues: the issue of me not being a fiction writer, and the second thing of trying to overcome this impediment now because of the accident, of me being able to sit down and just get enough focus out of me, because there's some internal pain that is just simply just, it's like having someone constantly, interfering your thinking process, horn blowing or something, like it's like the emergency alarm is on, and it's just continually just taking me off. I can't stay on track. It would be the easiest way to transmit to you what I'm going through on a day-to-day basis. But in any case, so, and I'm sharing this with you. You saying, why me? Why do I talk and meander into these areas? Because I'm really not meandering. It looks like that. Apparently and literally, it is meandering. However, I'm allowing it to, in order to show you how to compensate when you don't have certain skills, like what I told you about La Miserable. What's happened? Let me explain that to you a little bit also. Les Miserables. You've heard the play on Broadway and probably other cities by now. Um, right now, Les Miserables is a what do you call that? It is a public domain. It's in the public domain. You know what that means? That means that anyone can go and reprint that book. For example, you can go and reprint the book. Um, it's in the public domain, so you can publish a book, Les Miserables, and just the word for word, and just publish it. That is something that you can do. Now, what's this point in doing it? There's already Les Miserables someplace in the library, and someplace on a bookstore shelf, and obviously and on Amazon. What's the point of you just making it because it's free to do that? Of course, the answer to that is not. It's not. And by the way, there's thousands of books in the public domain, by the way. So what I'm going to tell you is really like, I guess somebody would sell this information for thousands of dollars. Let's put it that way. I'm going to give it to you for free right here. These are public works. So right now they're public domain. So you can take these things and make your own stuff. You can make your own video. You can make your own audio. You can make your own ebooks and printed books. Okay, you can make your courses. All the type of things that people would buy. Right? You can use the stuff that's in public domain and refashion it or repurpose it into a new thing and make money at that. So you can make money because what you're doing is something new. Using, for example, Les Miserables. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm changing it using my usual wit, if I can find any left after that accident, and try to make a political and humorous or serious tone based on Les Miserables. Okay, so and obviously I'm going to change the title, but again, I'm because I have my now limitation due to this darn accident. I'm going to have to do certain things to try to see if I can get something done. So I resolved to try to do it that way. But you guys can actually just use these public domain material as a guide. Use it as a guidepost, and almost like the something for dummies. You know the series where they and also the Spark Notes, was it, in college day, where you had the summation, the summary of what the story was saying and the plot, and so you didn't have to go read the whole book. You can just go through these notes, and you get the whole idea in about what the book was. So you can do that. You can make other material. You can change the focus, change locations, dates, and characters, and actually just create a different thing, a new thing, but your own, right? Because it is now yours. The stuff you used as its base is public domain, so you have no issues with that. And all you're doing is build upon that structure, and then you have something that you can market in in the marketplace. Of course, that's not going to work for your research type of things and classes, courses, things like that. But I'm just telling you that there are ways for you to get source material and build on it, and develop new things, products that you can create and then make some money with. So again, these things can be done slowly but surely. After work, you do a little, You do one thing. Today I'm going to identify what I can do and make it better. I'm going to look for if it's writing, if it's some other type of thing. You can look, there's public domain videos, TV shows, and things like public domain. Again, some people just use the show. I wouldn't do that. I would change things. I would just use the show like as inspiration, as a guide, as an outline, and then create my own thing using other things that are also public domain and whatnot, repurpose them, and to form a new thing. And again, it's based on your creativity, your skill set, and things like that. I mean, a lot of people can create a lot of things. You guys gotta, you gotta think. You gotta apply yourself. So, like I said, so these are things that you can do. Um, Harder here, but with a computer, you're set. I mean, there's a whole world of things that are in the public domain that you can really do a lot of things. I have thousands of ideas, So if someone out there doesn't have an idea, you can pay me because I'm showing you how to make money. Well, you're gonna pay me to give you some ideas. Now, you go to classiforium.com, look for some of there's some ads there where you see Professor Rosado, that you can engage me in helping you get some ideas. Now, one of the other thing I'm going to show you is the Win Hub. It was one of the first things I did was download this. I know you won't be able to see it because I have it just set to focus on my face, but it's called Interface by WenHub. Now, in WenHub, it's an expert platform. It's where you go to find experts and where experts go to provide information. I'm also on Presto Experts, by the way. So I've been an expert on other platforms. This WenHub, I heard about it from Scott Adams on Periscope. See, I discovered Scott Adams through Periscope, not through Twitter and not through his cartoons. Because I don't pick up the paper, so I wouldn't know have known him if it wasn't for Periscope. Is my point about Periscope. So you add, so I think he's a partner in this, or he owns it. In either case, WenHub. Let me open that up. Let me just open that up so you can see that. Yeah, I have it here. So this is the interface. It didn't open. So this is my interface at WenHub. I guess so. Oh, when I'm on, it doesn't show it. That's another thing about that. I'm sorry. It could be my phone that does that, but when I'm on live on the platform, it doesn't show what it shows me when I'm off. So right now, I can't see the whole phone is like hanging there, so I'm not able to show you actually what's happening with that interface. But if you go to WenHub on your app store, you go to the app store and you go to WenHub, you will see the app and you can download it. And through the app and on the desktop, your computer, you can go and you can look for experts, or you can sign up to be an expert. Now, here's where your skills and knowledge come into play. What is it that you know how to do? What is it that you have expertise in? Most probably, whatever you're an expert in or you have great understanding and knowledge about, someone else wants to learn that. It's always somebody that wants to learn what you know. Okay, so they're willing to pay. How much they're willing to pay, you got to estimate that, but they're willing to pay. And right now I'm going through certain tests because to see how much people are willing to pay for my expertise in certain areas. When you sign up as a expert, you can change the topics that you're dealing with day to day or hour to hour. You can have six, seven, or eight different expertise areas. The only thing is that when you are posting a price, like a per hour rate, it affects all of them. So you can't do, which would be nice if they could do it a different per hour rate per topic, would be fantastic. But they only have the one rate per hour for whatever you got to say. So you select. Now they don't limit your pricing within reason. But I've asked for $600. My usual rate is $250 per hour. That's my usual rate for consulting and for counseling, depending on the person. I use a sliding scale, but if the person can afford it, I'm worth every penny. So the 250 is my going rate right now per hour. So I can put that in here in the Win Hub. And it doesn't mean they have to talk with me for an hour. Just talk to me for 10 minutes, and that's it. So you limit your budget according to what you do. I promise to give you the best answer, the most information within the amount of time I'm given, right? So it's basically the more details you want, the more money you'll have to pay, but you'll get your answer. You only say, I can afford a minute or 2 minutes. I'm going to ask you before we start what your situation is, what is your goal, and then you only gave me 1 minute. I'm going to go and what your resources are, and I'm going to give you a 1 minute reply. It's what would be the answer. Now you then come to me, well, how do I do X, Y, Z? It's only a minute. See, you only pay for a minute, but I gave you the answer. So again, so that's basically how that works. But right now I'm running tests to see, because WinHub may not be the number one place for people to go for expert advice. So it may not be. I'm on Presto Experts, and they have more limitations on what you can do and how many topics you can be an expert in and stuff like that. And so another good way to do that would be to apply to different expert platforms for different things you're an expert at, and that'll solve that issue. At least you get all of your expertise out there in one way or another. Another way, if you're not allowed on the expert platforms, you can go to classiforium.com, and there's things that you can do. These are the things you can do. You can turn your expertise, go to Quora. Quora has questions people ask. Okay. You look for the area of expertise that you have, and you go to Quora, and when you do, you search for that area. And it was simply all you have to do is copy all the questions. Copy all the questions down, answer the question uh, the way you would, and even provide some references to some answers other people have given with a link. Okay? So you're giving, and then you make that into a PDF, just that question. And then you figure, well, if I was answering the phone for that question, I would get maybe what? $7, $8, $10 maybe for this information. Somebody would gladly pay $10 for that information. So then you go to classiforium.com, and you may have your PDF, and you make the ad. And you make the ad name the question. How would you buy? What would you do with wetland real estate? With something like that, land that was mostly wetland, right? So then you have you give some details, about the problem of having wetlands, or the benefits of having wetland, a little bit of that, and how you tell them that in your PDF you have researched the ways of that people have used this land and have done great things with it and have even profited well from that land ownership, etc., etc., etc. See, now that's something I can tell you right now, that that PDF, which I can write better than anyone, okay, that PDF would be a gold mine, okay. um, PDFs like that are like the questions and answers, and you're not copying the ones you see on Quora, for example, or other question and answer forums. You're taking the question, but you're not copying content. You wanna use the content. Maybe you see somebody had a great idea as well, so you may want to add that as a reference. You can go here and see someone's marvelous reply to a this similar question on Core, and we also suggest that you look into that. So you can refer to things and give Quora or any other question and answer forum credit, and the author credit. You understand, and you can use those. These are references. Everyone uses references. So again, but the thing is to provide your own expertise. That's the main content in the PDF, and so then you have a product. You have a product, and you have it on Classiforium. Classiforium has a particular benefit for you to advertise on Classiforium. Now, you don't want to just advertise on Classiforium. You can also put it on Craigslist. You can put it up on some other classified sites. You want to also, you can market that on forums through ad purchases on blogs. There's buy and sell, I think, online. If you go to buy and sell or buy and sell ads, I forget the exact name of the website that has people's blogs there that they're willing to sell you ad space. And if you have they have the right traffic amount of people day to day, and they're right there in that niche of like in my example, real estate, land purchasing, or land investing, stuff like that, very precise to where that question would come from, where those people who are engaged in that would activity, whatever it is in your niche, would be asking this type of question. That's the right place to put your ad and pay for that. That's worth it, because you'll get people clicking through and looking at a question that they have in their mind, and right now in front of their face at classiforium.com, they can get it answered once and for all for $5, for $8, $10, $12. Don't go too high. Remember, it's one question. This is one question. You're not here writing a voluminous book. So, but a question that's been bothering them and limiting their profits, or their another way to make some profit in real estate investing. Yeah, that's worth a few dollars. So to a savvy investor, so yeah, and then so you can realize some sales from that. And that's almost, once you set that up, it's pretty much a passive income, in the sense that as long as the ads are out there, people are still coming to visit this site or that, wherever you have the paid ad at, you'll have clicks and you'll make sales from that. So, and that's just one question. See, I gave you, now there's hundreds of questions. You'll have hundreds of products by the end of the month. If you put some action to what I'm saying, you're going to have hundreds of products really soon. Okay? And you're, again, you have to have expertise. Because you're going to get refunded. You try to do this, you're trying to fake it, you're going to get refunds. So you're not going to make money. You're going to waste time to get people who are thinking you got the answer, and when they then read it, say you just pulled my leg, and then they're going to ask for a refund. You're going to have a whole mess on your hands. And if you're using PayPal, they will shut you down because they don't want all of these returns coming in. So don't get involved. Don't do anything that you don't have expertise in. You have to know. You have to be able to read other people's reply and identify who's full of it and who knows what they're talking about. Basically, if you have that expertise, then that's a niche that you should get into, okay? And you can do this thing with that. But not only is the classiforum an area where you really do want to place this ad, realize that at classiforum.com, our ads are going to be featured on Roku TV and on Amazon Fire TV, not by them, but through the channels that we operate on those platforms. And you're talking easily about 250 million people. And we right now we have a few channels that are reaching across the globe. So the potential here for a lot of selling from your ad is amazing. As far as I know, classiforum.com is the only classified site that has in development a series of classified channels that will be featuring ads from the platform and creating shows upon the content on the classiforum.com site. So this is all in development right now. Again, I'm doing it for my own benefit. So, but you guys get to benefit with me because I'm doing this work anyway for myself. You guys can then also ride the wave and get your ads on TV. They have to be featured ads though, which is going to cost you a little money, not a whole lot to be on TV. It's not you not have to pay for a TV ad, but it's more than just posting it on the classified site, you know. So basically, it's a featured ad. Those are the ones that we will look to first, and we will then include that in our content for our shows. So that's the great thing about getting into classiforum.com. Plus the fact that we also are engaged in a traffic multiplex program, which has people as virtual assistants promoting the ads that are on the website. So we have all of that working. That's a lot of, I mean, when you post to Craigslist, it's just sitting there. It's like dumb advertising in the sense that I'm here and just waiting for people to go through. The good thing about Craigslist is that a lot of people go through. A lot of people go through. So that's like, you know, it's like the poster in the subway. A lot of people are going to be walking through that tunnel. So that's it's more like a billboard. Craigslist is like a billboard. But classiforum.com is a traffic machine. It's really it's a bullhorn. We're going out there. Your ad is getting promoted by virtual assistants, and it's going to be on TV if you have purchased a featured ad, and it's going to be in millions of people's faces. So that's the difference between classiforum.com and Craigslist. So Craigslist has its pros and cons, and then Classiforum being a new site and a younger site and still yet developing site, but we have a great powerhouse of promotion. So so what you want to do is balance between the two. Leveraging is called. But getting on TV now, did you ever think that ever when you put a classified ad that your advertising, your promotion will end up on TV? You ever think about that? Right. It's only classiforum.com. So I invite you guys to go over there and to sign up and get your ads in as soon as possible because we will be going on air soon with the Classiforium TV show. We were interrupted here a bit before. I think I have that Classiforium stuff here. Let me see. Yeah, I have that. So since I'm talking about it, let me just put it on here, a little bit of it, so that you guys can see. Where is that here? You can see a little bit of the lower third here, at least. Since we're talking about that topic, we might as well just show some of the parts of that I prepared. How you doing? How you doing, Dustin? Some of the parts that we prepared for the classified TV show. Okay, so this is so you guys know I'm talking when I'm talking of things that we know. Okay, so that's what you should be doing for that. Classiforium.com again, with the technique that I just showed you and talked about. On Classiforium, you'll find also my real estate courses, and on there, you may find, and I'll check it when I'm finished today, you will find other opportunities to get my advice on your side, working with you and your business or your attempt to start a business. Okay, so I've showed you a way. I've showed you a few ways now where you can really make some mad money already using your phone with a WinHub. Now, as I told you before, I'm doing tests to see the response rate at different hourly rates. I'm not using my 250. I did do that at one time, and the WinHub is a new thing too. It's just like Classiforium. It's a new thing. So again, it's not like everyone on the planet is going over there, but over time it will get known as a place to go. It's easily accessed, and it's good for you to get started in there and to start your consulting business or income stream there now. So that you don't have a lot of competition, because there isn't a lot of competition. And right now, if you have some particular skill, if you have some particular knowledge, you can use your phone at wenhub.com and begin to help teach other people. Now, there's something, and you can set the rate. You don't have to. I mean, you have what you want to make $20 an hour. You want to start out with $10 an hour, whatever your rate is. Put it up there and see how it goes. You need to have something, knowledge that people need, people can use, has some value, and you have to be able to articulate it. Okay? People are spending money. They'll spend money, but they really want to get the help that they need. So as long as you understand that, WinHub is a good option for you to start getting some movement going. And again, and until you get movement going, you can always do the idea I told you before about the answer questions. See, now I'm going to show you how to combine the two. So now someone calls you through the WinHub app, and they ordered 5 minutes of your time, 10 minutes of your time, an hour, whatever it is. But let's say that they didn't order a lot in the beginning. It's the first time for them. They don't know you, right? So they're going to order maybe a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Okay, so let's say that happens. So you made some 60 cents, or 50 cents, whatever it is. But before you finish with them, you say to them that the question you have is answered in more detail on a PDF I have for sale on classiforium.com. So you give them that. You have your little bit.ly link. Make them easy and simple. Bit.ly, bit.ly/ and something simple, really easy. Okay, you can do whatever PDF 1, whatever PDF 2, whatever. You need to have your list, and to make it very simple types of of easy to remember URLs, easy to write down real quick on a phone call because the call is running out of time. And then you can then above the the let's say you made 50 cents, 25 cents for this guy to ask you this question, but of course it's not all the information they need. Then you send them to your product. Remember the product I told you to make at classiforium.com, and there the products for $5, $7, whatever. Then this guy will go. He's already a buyer. He's what you call a hot prospect. He's already willing. He or she is willing to spend some money for information. So even though online, on through the web app, they're a little cautious who you are and you're gonna cheat me for the $10 an hour. But after they heard you for a minute or two, and then you gave them a link to get the more information about this particular question at classiforium.com. They go there, they read some details, they say, I'm going to get this. It's just another $5. It's just another $7.95. You see? And then what you've done is that you've turned that 1 minute, 2 minute, and of 50 cents or 25 cents that they spend, they risked to see what you're about. You've turned that into another $7, $8, $10, or $5, whatever, just like that. And that is easy money. You can do it now. If you spend like 5 minutes, realize this: if you spend 5 minutes or less helping 5 people, okay, you've only made $2.50. Like 50 cents each. But they all go and buy that ebook and that question. You've made about almost if you're selling it at $9.95, $10, you've made $50 for 5 minutes. You see that? Because the secret in making money is not in selling one thing for a lot of money. The secret is selling small things, small amount, but a couple of things together. See, because when you split things into little pieces, automatically people see value. Oh, it's 50 cents for this, and then it was $4.95 for this, and then I really want this other thing. This is going to be another $6, and I would really like that other thing and that's going to cost me $10. So altogether, you made the guy spend $25, $30, which from a minute or two on the phone. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. So there you go. You were looking for $10 an hour. Now you made $30 in a minute. See, now you're not going to be making every minute $30 because that's not the way it works. But if you're good, if you make one sale, if you help one person, and that person goes on to classiforium.com and gets all the rest of your stuff, all you need is one person every 3 hours in the day, and you're good. You made your $10 salary that you would have made having to sweat your butt off, carry bananas, break your back, or whatever it is that you do for a living, or on the only option there is to make a living, except there are no jobs available in a regular 9-to-5 job. So this is how people make, the ones making money online, the ones making money without a job. This is how it's done. It's done the smart way. It's not just one customer, because you're thinking, I'm going to have to get 100 people just to make a living. No, you need one or two, and they buy 5 or 10 things because you cut them up into little pieces. You answer the other way that works is that you answered one question with one PDF, But while they're at Classiforium, they see the other another question that you answered. Oh, I want to know that question too, the answer to that. So they're going to pick up that PDF too. Okay, so that's how it works. A week later, another question comes up. Let me go to Classiforium. Let me see if the guy I was talking to on WenHub has this question there. I don't remember. I think I saw something about it. So then they'll go to Classiforium, they'll do a search, and they'll look at your profile, and they'll see the questions that you've answered as a PDF, and they'll go and get that. So it's like, one time, and you're making sale, 2, 3 weeks later, a month later, all of a sudden it pops in. I say, I don't remember someone calling me this morning. I made a sale of some PDF over there because of the minute or two that you spent a month before. You're still making money months later. Not only that, but remember, the Classiforium promotes all your ads, and if it's featured, it gets featured on the TV show. So these are the things you got to understand about that. So it's very, very powerful when you do things combined, not just one thing, but you combine a few things together to make a very powerful income producing program for yourself. And it's not just the same stuff. So, like you see a lot of times, people give you advice. Like I show you. Like right now, I'm making a PDF right now of what I'm saying, because the other phone here is transcribing whatever I'm talking about right now. Right? The video is saying what? The same thing that's on this, right? And the audio that I extract from the video is going to say what? The same thing. It's the same thing. But the secret to the technique that I told you about, because I can sell the video and the audio the same thing, and the ebook saying the same thing together, and that is like a great value because they can go to the car and listen to my talking, or they can be sitting and reading it in a book if it's printed, if you want to go that way, or an ebook on their phone or on their tablet, which is usually the way you should go, the modern way right now. I'm a little old fashioned, so I like a little thing to carry with me. But you can do stuff like that. Yeah, you can even, a good thing to have, which is still be good, because I don't think people are that modern yet, is to create a booklet that has some of the, in other words, it's a workbook. So it will be a workbook based on this. Like I can now produce a workbook which will be basically empty pages with lines going through them, and each page or each couple of pages is a chapter to asking them to list down what their skills are. See, like I told you, you need to know what your skills are. So then one of the subheadings would be, what are your skills? List them here. So that actually, and as we go along through the workbook, they'll be creating the ideas, helping them to create the ideas that they're learning about while reading the ebook, or by listening to the audio or to the video. So yeah, so, but you see, the idea was to make something different, related. It's related to what I'm saying, but it's different, and it creates a totally new and distinct added value to that whole thing. So they're going to want the workbook. How can you want to know how to resolve a problem and not get the workbook that actually helps you to sit down and work it out? Right? So they have to get the workbook. So that's separate, but together. You see, so with this program, you can get the audio tape. You get the audio, so you can go in the car. You get the flash drive, and then you get the video access, internet access, and even the disc. If you don't have internet access, you have it on disc. or on the flash drive. I don't think people use discs anymore. I still have. I'm all set up for the old-fashioned way. But anyway, but the disc thing is the next thing I'm going to have to get. Have the flash. I'm sorry, the flash drive, and you can get the flash drive and then the workbook. You see, now we're instead of us talking about $10 for everything, now we're talking 30, 40, 50. Because we're adding different things. If each thing is different, if my audio, for example, I have quotes from this video recording now, but I add stuff to the audio, commentary, other opinions of other people, blah, blah, this and that. So the audio is different than the video. See that? It's related. It's talking about the video. It has parts of the video in it, but there's more information. There's different things, different perspective, different things, that work with the workbook, so that help me to get the workbook done. So you see, so creating products that are related but different, and they you put them together in a series. Not that they have to be bought together. You could, that's an option, but they can buy it individually, right? You give them the option because they're the ones who have to spend the money. But in any case, you see that you can easily create things in such a way that people would buy, block A, B, C, and then maybe D, maybe E from each person. And each person, you got started from this phone app. Because another thing that people forget and don't understand is that creating a product, we tend to think in boxes. So when we think about creating a product, all we think about is the box, the product itself. But no one's thinking about the traffic that you need. Because what's the point of you making this box, but you don't know where you're going to sell it or to whom? So I always like to teach my students that the first thing you need to do, as well as to find out what your skill is to find out what your market is. Because you want to know what market you have now, today. You don't have a job. How is it now that you're going to be focusing on a product or making money, but you don't know what market it is you're going to make money in? That's like, you know what? I don't have a job. I'm going to go fishing. But you don't even have an idea where there's a lake. Or if there even is a lake. You just came up with the idea, I'm going to go fishing. Like, where? and then realize, for what? Because if you're a fisherman, like I'm a fisherman, you can't. You got to know what you're fishing for, because you got to take what you need for that type of fish, right? So again, this people are thinking backwards when they think about getting money. Why do they think that way? I already answered it early on in this program, and that was because we're trained to just receive money. We don't think about where it comes from. You see, we're not thinking about the lake. We're just thinking about the fish. And that's the problem that most people have in reasoning how to make money without a job. And that's why most people feel or believe that they can't make money unless they have a job. That the job is the only way for them to make money. It is totally untrue. Totally untrue. It's just simply, it is the reality we've created for ourselves because we were trained to be limited to receiving money. And it's also why most people, even when they have a job, they really don't do the job. They do not really earn the money they get paid. Some of y'all do. Some of you. But the most people I've seen, at least in the United States, I would gather that people that are workers in other countries, not the United States, people in other countries, especially the low income wage earners, I think they sweat their money. They really are underpaid for what they do because I've seen it personally. But many people in the United States, you, you don't earn your money. You do not earn your money. I call most people working in the U.S. welfare recipients because they're getting the corporate welfare. The first of all, the company is paying you minimum wage only because the law says they have to pay it to you, and they say and the people feel that they deserve the minimum wage. Listen, that's only if you're making that money for the company. And the question is, are you making that money for the company? That's what people should be asking. You're making $10 an hour. You want $10 an hour as a salary. The question is, how much are you making for the company? Do you realize some? Let me explain something to you. Commission is at about 20%. A typical commission on a typical price product or service is usually about 20%. So using that 20% and applying it to an hourly wage, okay, is $10 an hour. Put in whatever the amount of money you make an hour for regular workers here, and figure that you need to make for the company 5 times that every hour. And ask yourself the question, in my job, in the job that I am doing, do I see that I am making the company 5 times what they are paying me, or the amount that I want to be paid? Because that's really, you really need to understand that in order for, like when I do a product and I'm offering 20% commission, that's 20% that I feel comfortable paying someone and not losing my shirt. I'm sharing with that person my profit. Okay, so I can sell it. People will buy the product with that extra amount, that 20% that I've added just to pay you. It's not even going for me. It's going to pay my affiliate. It's going to pay somebody that's working for me. So you got to understand that. And the question is what you're doing creating enough wealth for the company for at least 5 times what they're paying you? So you got to figure that out. Now, look, some people make, let's say you make $1,000 a week. Other people make maybe $500 a week, $400 a week, whatever that is. Times it by 5, ladies and gentlemen. Times it by 5. And honestly answer if your job position brings into the company that amount of money every week. And a great many of you will have to say no. And that's including, and I bet that many of your companies, on top of that fact, employ commission salespeople who are earning their 20%. So you see how much already 20% is going to the salesperson. And then on top of that, the employer is paying you your wages for doing whatever it is you do at the company. And then the company has to pay all of its employees, as a matter of fact, and then still have a profit at the end of the day to show its stakeholders, its stockholders. So you can see how much of a price of a product is actually inflated to cover those who actually do bring the, and which one is the one bringing the company the money now? Who is it? The one on salary or the one on commission? Who is bringing the company the money? You see what I'm saying? So this is what people, you guys got to understand why the situation is what it is in the employment environment. It is, do not assume, oh, the company has money. The company has money for a reason. And it's not because of your job. It is not because of your job. And when the company hires you for your job, in most cases, the company is being very gracious. The company is being gracious and paying you that money because I mean that's what it's paying other people for the same type of work. And but still, you know, they're doing it to free up other key people who are the ones that are bringing in the money, because that's the bottom line. Okay, so understand that. And then I'm not saying that to humiliate or humble people. No, I'm saying that so that you can get off your butt and start doing something about guaranteeing your own success in life, income streams, and a retirement income, so that you can be smart in your life and end up well, and your family can end up well. That's really what's at stake. Because if you're sitting around waiting for your job to take care of you, okay, you know what they say about one being born every second of the day, right? All right. So that's one of the things I have on this. Right now it's on. And the time that I've been here talking with you, I've received quite literally a bill reminder, but I've not received a call through that app. Okay. So again, this is, I'm just sharing with you some reality. I have received calls from the app. So the app does provide calls. Again, like I said before, I'm testing the hourly rate to see where people who are now on the app will bite and send me some money, right? Later on, when more people are there, maybe I can start raising prices because people will still bite, right? But right now, I'm just looking for that comfortable zone to find out what level of my requested billing are people willing to pay for to initiate a phone call. So that's basically what I'm looking for. And again, it really doesn't matter, right? Because other people here, and even I can do this as well, is to give free advice. I can list my pricing as free, and then obviously anyone online will take that bite, anyone on the app, and then I will do the same thing. I will give them just enough, find out what answer questions they have, and see if I have any of those questions answered already. Where? Paciphorium.com. And then send them over after I give them 2 or 3 tips. And hey, listen, it's a free call. I can only limit it. I have other people who are waiting. The rest of the information you can find at classiforum.com for about $5.95, $4.95. You know, you don't want to make it too much. If it's really just some simple information, then make it simple, make it easy, but get the money. Get the money. Remember, you're only trying to replace or compensate your hourly rate wage, right? So don't try to be big and get big money, because it's not going to happen. You just waste your time. Make it good, but make it small. Get a little bit of money, and get a little bit of money many times. And that's the way you have to build this and develop it. Okay. So there you go. And again, if you have already set, like I would be a person that would have seminars, courses already ready to go, so that when I use, again, this is the lake. Remember when I said you have to find out where the lake is first. So there is my lake, one lake, the app, the expert app. People there, which are not the same people on other ones, but these people are the ones I'm fishing for. So for these people, I send them to that PDF after I give them some information now. Then in the PDF, when they're reading the PDF, I'm talking about, oh, and this other thing, you can really get a full a course giving you all these other details that you may or may not know about is covered in this course. It's 3 day, 4 days. It's 10 videos, whatever it is. You can create these things on YouTube, even a 10 video, 20 video course, only available to those who brought the PDF. And you tell them this course will cost $24, 19.95, something like that. For depending on the quality and the topic niche, 49.95, even higher. I have some niches where I can easily ask for 99.95 for information. High money making niches that people are looking to make a lot of money. I'm talking about in this one area that I am an expert in. A person can make 50,000 minimum every year from it. So what? I can't get them to give me $100 to get that information. Of course, I can do that. I can get more, but at 99.95, it's a steal. So you see what I'm saying? So I could be making $100. Boom, 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 boom. Every time someone, and I'll use this to capture those fish in this lake, in that app lake, and $100 a shot. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, God bless you, sir. Boom, boom. You see that? And all on automatic pilot, because once I've set it up with Classiphorium, I put myself that I'm online in the app. That's it. It's a money making machine. $100 every time somebody goes from the PDF into purchasing that course. $100 right there and then. So all we have to hope for whenever it happens, because I don't need to just depend on that, but that's just one thing, is to get a few sales every week. It's okay. It's a few $100, extra. Go out to dinner. Take my family out to dinner, or to they love going to those buffet things. Take them out. Then not a problem. Not a problem. Not a problem. So basically, that's the issue that you want to start thinking how to put those things together. It's putting things together, not just making a product. It's making using a product and putting things together, and each one is for sale separately. But the first key, the most important key, is having your lake. It's where the fish are. See, and then you can see, well, if people come in for this thing, I can just send them over here. And we already told you why you should leverage classiphorium.com. Because if you're trying to make money, you might as well put it here, right? And you can put it on the other ones, but don't forget this. And don't forget, once you start making money, feature this one. Because that way that'll just blow up. You got millions of people be looking and seeing your ad. So that's millions of people, millions of people. All you need is like 1%. You get the idea. All right. So that was one thing. That's one how I'll talk about that in other sessions as well, in other programs to give you those ideas. Now I downloaded some other things here, but since I've already been on for a while, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just not going to go there in this session. I'll do another video and cover some other areas. But I gave you a good amount of, and you, anyone that heard this program today, you can be making thousands of dollars with what I gave to you for free right now. Okay, and you can start it today. So that's how viable is the advice that I gave you just now, just with one app, just one app, and a little bit of thinking and putting things together, and you have a way of making thousands of dollars every year on top of any salary you make in any job. And the only work is in the beginning, that you're putting everything together, but the work is really as simple as what you just sat down. You just sat down. And the time that it took for you to sit down and watch this video, you could have set the first things in place and the main core of the content in place for making a couple of thousands of dollars. That's how easy it is. And it also shows you how much time people waste in their life. Because right now, people could have been watching a TV show on TV for half an hour, 40 minutes. How long I've been on? I've been on for an hour and a half. Okay? An hour and a half. Some people could have been just wasting time watching TV for an hour and a half. People, at least for an hour, have been eating lunch, maybe. What time is it now? They've been eating lunch. And yeah, it's 12:43. So right now, people are at lunch, 12 o'clock to 1. And in the time it took for you to gobble down some food to get more fat, you could have created the core content, or at least an outline of a series of products that would make you thousands of dollars. Think about that. And that's just for today's lunchtime, because tomorrow there's another lunchtime, isn't there? So you see, everybody's wasting time. Everybody is wasting time, and you're losing money. You have no one to blame except yourself. Okay? Some of you travel in a car to and from work. What? You can't talk and drive at the same time? You do it already, but you're talking garbage. Trump is an idiot. He has money. You don't. Who's the idiot? You're wasting time. How you guys doing? I'm sorry I shocked you with that, but that's the truth. I mean, you guys are wasting time. Others of you are BSing with people, fighting with people, letting other people, disturb your peace of mind. Get out of there. Do something. Forget them. So you're trying to act like what? A man or a woman? You're trying to what? That you know? Listen, an hour and a half, man. An hour and a half. You could be making thousands of dollars every year, sitting on your butt. But you have to get moving now. Do something now. Use the time wisely, because later, as you get older, you won't have it. And the things that you do now, they're there. I can talk on the phone now, and when I get to be 80 years old, I can talk on the phone, right? My voice will get a little more crunchy and this and that. But if you want to get a little more information about that, it's a really interesting PDF I have at classiforium.com. Go over there. There's more information. And boom, another $25 coming in. See that? And I'm old and fogey and whatnot, waiting for death to overcome me. But money will still be coming in because of what I did today. And that is the issue. So I'm going to cut it here. Great information. I'm sure you all agree. Everyone who's seen the whole video, if you came in late, see the whole video. Because I taught in this video how to make thousands of dollars. So you should be able to make thousands of dollars after listening to the whole video and doing it. Doing what I suggest you do. And remember, classoforium.com, trying to do anything of making any type of income and investing in real estate. When you make some money, come and see me. Take care, and I'll see you later. Thanks for coming by. Classoforium.com is the place to go and place for your ad to be. Make some money and do it now.